Chef Rome.
What's up, man? What's happening?
How are you, my friend? Celebrity chef from North Carolina,
That's what
correct?
they say.
Dude, you've cooked for some impressive people. Shaq.
Yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh man, sorry, I dropped
Skilled
the F
chef
bomb.
the year they won it all in Miami.
Shaq, the Obamas. You cooked for the inauguration, correct?
Yeah, the Global Peace inaugural ball. Yep.
What did you make for them?
Man, I don't even remember. It's been quite a few years, and I know lamb was I know lamb was on the menu, but it was so many. I don't know. It was such a huge menu, man, and it's been several years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who's been one of your favorite people to cook for?
Shaquille was probably right at the top of the list, just because of his personality. He's a big kid, right? and he always had like a lot of advice, and that was about basketball. I mean, he was just a prankster. He's a prankster to his heart, man. So
I was gonna ask, like, how fun is it to hang out with Shaq? If you need a third wheel, just let me know. I'll be there, bro. I'll show up. You might have to wire me money, but I'll be there, man.
Yeah, right. Man, listen, you definitely have to bring your your sense of humor with you.
Your A game, yes.
Right.
I would assume so.
Yeah,
he seems like that kind of a guy.
Right. He's a comedian for real.
Oh man.
So now, how does it work? Do those guys they hire you to?
They hit you up?
Well, so no, with Shaq, I was his personal chef, so I was there on a day in and day out basis.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Now I don't. I mean, of course, I don't do it anymore now, just because I don't have that time, and I did it for 23 years. So now it's, the one-offs. Someone may call and say, hey, man, listen, can we get you in, cook a meal of that special occasion, something like that. I'll fly in, do the meal, and fly right back out.
Wow.
So, and it really does. I mean, I had several years of NBA and NFL. So it was pretty cool, man.
And I saw, too, you helped Shaq lose like 20 pounds, right?
Yeah. That was the year. If you remember, I'm not sure how into basketball you guys are, but if you remember that year, he had a high ankle sprain to start the season. Happened in training camp, and so he had already hired me to begin with, just to help control his date. But now, if you're going to be his weight rather, but now if you're going to be inactive because of a high ankle sprain, that's a real easy way to pick up weight. And so, I was showing him how to make some changes that would inevitably help him at least not gain weight, but in his case, he actually lost weight. So it worked out pretty good for both of us.
Wow. Yeah, that's amazing. What's something just the average person could do to eat healthier day to day?
Really just monitor your calories. If you're eating a lot of calories, then you want to, obviously, work out a little bit more. And, working out and eating right goes hand in hand. So, a lot of people are not mindful of that. They figure if I just eat a little less or whatever, then I'm just going to lose weight. And it doesn't necessarily happen that way. So it really just depends on your body type, what you're trying to accomplish, and so on, man. But I would say eat more times a day, more from a snack perspective. Eat your heavier meals earlier in the day as opposed to later in the night. You know what I mean? Now you have all day to burn those calories off. So.
And what I want to ask you too, just I'm a parent for kids. Like, what can you do to help your kids eat healthier? Because my kids, they're picky. Even my son this past summer, he's going to my mom. He's like, Nanny, I love carrots. I love cooked carrots. So she bought a can of cooked carrots and made it. And he's like, I don't want to eat these. And I'm like, what's wrong, buddy? And he goes, I like the squares. I don't like slices. I'm like, dude, get out of here. So I didn't. I didn't make him eat it.
But you know what?
I
Easy
didn't cut them
solution
up.
for that?
Yeah.
Honestly, let them help you in the kitchen. Let them help you in the kitchen. Let them help prepare the meal or prep the meal or set the table, whatever. But I've learned over the years working with some of the kids of different celebrities that if you want to get them to eat different things or try different things, let them see the process of preparation and participate in that. That teaches them something, and because they did it, they take ownership. They're gonna try it, and that's pretty much it, man.
I love
That's
that.
I mean,
awesome.
that's really the way to go.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It's crazy. It's something you never think of, but it's like, it just sounds perfect. Like
Yeah.
you should.
Right. Right.
And going back to
Right.
that, were you involved as a kid in cooking?
Listen, I started at the age of 7. You know, I watched my mom cook pancakes one day, and I literally just stood there in the corner watching her prepare those pancakes. The next morning, if you have kids, you know kids will have a tendency to get up earlier than everybody else as if they have a job, right? Especially on like the weekends or something like that if they're not sleeping in.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, like go back and lay down. Well, I was that kid.
Yeah.
And and so for me, I got up that next morning and I went in there and tried to duplicate everything I saw her do, making those pancakes. And that's how I got started with cooking.
That's awesome.
Just that simple. And by the time I was 9 and 12, she didn't have to cook anymore unless she just chose to. So, I mean, because I loved it so much, I just enjoy seeing the end product. And so for me, just, cooking for my sisters and, and eating whatever I wanted because I always had a big appetite, just going through that process, man. And I didn't even set out to become a chef. I really didn't. I didn't even know anything about what a chef was or had even heard the word chef, come to think of it.
Wow.
So it wasn't until I got in the military.
I was going to ask, like, what would you be doing if you weren't a chef?
I think I'd be a lawyer. Yeah. I always wanted to, practice law, or, for a while I wanted to be a Secret Service agent. Thought that would be pretty cool.
That would be cool. That would be cool. I heard you mention military. I was going to ask, too, in the military, when you were a cook, do you have a lot at your disposal as far as ingredients and all that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had everything. That's one thing about, at least during the time that I was in, we literally did it all. Like we slice, we dice, we boil, we prep. We were serving over 3,200 people per day.
Wow.
And so you imagine doing that, at least 5 days a week.
Yeah.
In most cases, if you're lucky, or 6 at least, at 30-some hundred soldiers. And depending on the unit that you were in, it might have been more than that. Like those guys in the Navy, they're they don't have many options of where they could go and eat. But I was in the Army, so, we were pretty consistent on the amount of numbers that we were doing on a per meal basis. But 3,200 was enough, I promise you.
That's got to be such a compliment too, as a chef. You're giving people comfort away from home. You're giving people everything they have, like that keeps them going.
Right.
Like it's an amazing thing.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing either because everyone comes from all over, right?
Yes.
Different lifestyles, different races, different heritages, and so when you sit down to eat, what's good to one is not good to the other necessarily, or you introduce people to things that they never would have tried before. So I think that was like one of the greatest and coolest parts of being a cook in the military and even being a chef now. It's that challenge, right?
Yeah.
It's that challenge to see how I could turn you on to something that you may not have tried, or you've had it that way and you hated it, and now you taste it my way, my cuisine, and it's like, wow.
That's cool.
I want it like that, yeah.
That's amazing. What is your specialty as a chef?
because I was a personal chef, I had to be versed in some of everything. But Southern cuisine with a gourmet twist is my primary thing. But I'm well versed in French. I'm well versed in, quite a bit of different cuisines.
Wow.
I had to be well rounded.
Yeah. Did you go to school for that too?
I didn't go to culinary school. I got it all through the military.
Wow, that is outstanding, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, a lot of people are blown away. And the funny thing is, I mentor a lot of chefs who are in culinary school right now, or just coming out of culinary or what have you.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. It really was the gift God gave me, man.
It totally is. I was gonna say too, you have a couple books out too, right? One is Eat Like a Celebrity, and it's kind of like your life story and a cookbook.
That's right. I talk about my early childhood and some of the things that I love to cook. I talk about my times with working with celebs, athletes, and entertainers, and then I also talk about my military days. What that was like, and I address some of the things that my former clients, their favorite dishes and how we arrived at that being their favorite dish. So we talk about a lot of that, and that is the Eat Like a Celebrity book. The one that I have out currently is Carolina Soul. It's about books. It's about recipes that are indigenous to North and South Carolina. So I talk about everything from the ocean and all of our fresh seafood. We'll talk about the mountains and how, we prepare the moonshine, because we have it all. We got the mountains on one side, the ocean on the other, the big city in between.
Yeah.
And because of that, man, we have so many amazing restaurants and eateries throughout both Carolinas.
And would you ever consider your own restaurant, or do you have your own restaurant?
Right now, I have a couple of concepts that I'm looking to put out, open up, but right now I'm the executive chef of Rocky Mountain Event Center here in Rocky Mountain, North Carolina. It's the very first convention center here in this city, and man, it's been a roller coaster ride, and I'm loving every bit of it. Really am.
Nice. That's awesome.
So we're coming up on our first year being open, man. It's pretty cool.
Cool. Do you have any other projects like in the works, like any more books or anything else on the horizon?
Yeah, man. My daughter and I. My daughter is really into fitness. She's a biology major at North Carolina A&T. And we're talking about, or not even talking about, we're working on a cookbook right now, a father-daughter type cookbook that's addressing eating right and working out and how it goes hand in hand. And so, me being over 50 now, having the gut and the stomach. And she's looking at me like, Dad, like, really? Come on. This we're not going to let this go like this, And so we're talking about all of these fun things, man, and some funny moments that we had. And I had the recipes. She has the workout to go with those recipes. And, we're hoping that we help a whole lot of people with that.
That sounds like it could work as a show, maybe even on a YouTube channel or something. That sounds like
probably can.
A good project, man.
Why don't you produce it, man?
Oh, Slim is the producing machine. I'm just the pretty.
Well, Rob, that's not true. Rob is also great at the social media and advertising. Rob is an amazing advertiser.
We might be able to work this out.
Yeah.
see, let's make it happen, man. We're ready.
Damn right. With Shaq, with special appearances by Shaq.
Yeah,
I love
it. That might be a little tough to do. That might be a little tough. That's busy, man.
I have a quick question because I'm just curious. I'm a big fan of craft beer, and Rob and I live in New Jersey, and in New Jersey to have a brewery, you're not allowed to also serve food, which is a shame because I've been to breweries out of state, And any brewery I've gone to, I swear every brewery has the best food ever. So I was curious about your thoughts on like breweries and food.
Well, first of all, I'm originally from New Jersey.
Okay.
Just so you guys know.
Oh, that's awesome.
East Orange. Yep. And here in North Carolina, we have an area of town called the Mills. And in the Mills, they have all of these local breweries. Like they make their own beer, and those beers are relegated, primarily throughout the Carolinas. I think that the possibilities of what you can do with food and beer is amazing.
Yeah.
I just think that is, and I think it's endless, and I think that people would be totally shocked by, some of the things that you can come up with. It's far more than just beer batter, this and that. I mean, I've tested some different things with beer on my own, just playing around, like beer that's, made into ice cream.
Oh, wow.
That's actually pretty tasty.
Wow,
that's awesome.
And I was gonna say too, like you could also like hone your skills to where it tastes better to go along with like certain
to pair
beers,
like the beer that you're brewing.
Yeah,
at your brewery. Yep.
I feel like you could totally work on something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean that's why I said the ideas of what you can do are endless. Wow. With that type of situation, man.
That's weird to me
we
too.
Should explore it.
That you said like they're not allowed to here. Like
why
would you prohibit that?
Because it's the liquor licenses are really expensive in New Jersey.
Oh yeah, they are weird.
So the restaurants here don't want the breweries to serve food because technically breweries don't need a liquor license to serve liquor because they make their own beer. So the restaurants are just kind of like pissy about it. And they're like, well, that's not fair.
That's the dumbest thing.
Yep.
I think, people are so afraid of change sometimes, but I would say, I guess I'm more of an optimist. I want to see what the possibilities are.
Yeah.
Right. And at the end of the day, if you're afraid of that, then step your game up and make some better food.
That's what I was just going to say. Exactly. You would force that guy in that restaurant
probably sucks.
Yeah. You gotta prove it, man. Yes.
Or just sell your dumb liquor license and make your own beer.
Exactly, right? Exactly. I mean, it never seems to make people get all up in arms about, change.
Yeah, yes. Jerome, too, I wanted to ask you, have you worked with other famous chefs?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, for 7 years, I participated in the Walt Disney World Epcot Food and Wine Festival. And, you get everybody from Robert Irvine to Cap Cora to G. Garvin to Jeff Henderson, Gennard Wells, Hoda. You get so many different chefs that come in because they hand select every year some of the top chefs in the nation. And so because of that, I had the opportunity whenever I do those type of events to work with some dynamic chefs, Pat Neely, Gina Neely, you name it. So
cool.
Absolutely.
Is there anyone you would like to work with?
Emerald. I'm just a fan of Emerald because of his charisma. Yes. I've met him a couple of times, but I've never actually worked with him.
Cool.
So that might be pretty cool. Bobby Flay, I'd love to do something with Bobby.
He's awesome.
He's an amazing chef, and I like to go over the water and do something with the Naked Chef, man. I mean, I think that might be pretty cool.
Who's the Naked Chef?
I don't know the Naked Chef.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yep.
If you Google the Naked Chef, he's out of London, right?
Okay.
And I think it's Jeremy. Is it Jeremy? What is his name? Anyway, he's like literally one of the top chefs.
Wow.
And this guy is one of England's most popular chefs, and I've watched his cooking over the years, and he's had some of the he's had some amazing moments on his shows with some of the things that he's put out, and even his restaurants are they're pretty good, man.
James Trevor Oliver.
Jamie Oliver. That's it.
Does he?
Jamie Oliver.
Is he
Cook
naked? Does he
naked,
ever
right?
burn himself with grease? Like that
Say
would
it
be
again?
dangerous. Is he naked? Like, does he burn himself with
No,
grease?
no. No. I wouldn't be wanting to go work with a naked dude.
Hey man, even if he was the best chef in the world, you wouldn't want to work side by side with him.
Yeah, no, not at all.
How did you stir
Not if
that,
he's
naked chef? I don't want to know how you stirred that, bro.
Right. Yeah, that's a bit scary. And yeah, no, we're not doing that.
Why is he called the naked chef?
I don't know. I don't know. I think maybe because of his approaches, or to a lot of his cooking is or organic.
That's what I thought. Maybe.
And
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think it's because he does a lot of organic stuff, and it really just kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, because I'm looking at him. He's got clothes on. He's got clothes on, and all the pictures on Google. So I'm like, wait, what?
Very, very disappointing.
Yeah.
I want a naked man to cook me a plate. What's your opinion on this whole gluten-free thing?
What do I think about it?
Yeah, like especially like you said you've gotten people to eat healthy and stuff. Like, do you think does it do anything?
make a
Is it
difference?
like?
Yeah, because people have so many different health challenges. Usually, so here's the thing. Usually, people who eat gluten free, those are people who typically have celiac disease,
Okay.
right? And you can't have anything that's going to thicken their blood, so they stay away from like the wheats and other type of things that that have gluten in their food. I mean, it literally clogs everything, and it can kill them. Well, some people have said, "Yeah, I'm on a gluten-free diet," and it's because they're using it to help them lose weight. And what sucks about it is, for those who really can't have gluten versus those who are so-called on a just this weird diet. And they come in and they tell you all this bogus stuff about themselves. This is not true.
Yeah.
And so my first question is, do you have celiac disease?
Yes.
What is that?
Oh my God.
I'm like, yeah,
I just like soy milk.
right. You just want to make my day jacked up. Okay.
Is it so? So then, my next follow-up question there for somebody who actually has celiac disease: is it hard? Like, if you had to cook for them, is it hard to cook for them?
No, it's not hard to cook for them. It's just making sure that you in that moment you have their life in your hands. And so if you're not certain about it, then ask or Google or don't do it. Pass them off to someone else who is well versed in that, so that you're not playing with someone's life.
Wow. Yeah.
Because it just seems like it would be so hard to find stuff like without wheat and like just whatever else is gluten. I guess mainly just.
Well, a lot of society has changed so much, and the food industry, because of celebrity chefs and TV and things like that, a lot of people are far more educated than they used to be. I mean, think about it. When you were a kid, did you ever hear anything about gluten?
No. I ate whatever the hell
Never
was
heard
in,
of it, right?
was in
Yeah,
front of me.
you just
It
ate
was
whatever.
Box.
But those
everything.
people have always been around.
Yeah. So I wonder.
And because of education, people are more versed in what you should and shouldn't have now.
Did they
There's
just?
so many.
Did they just die back in the day? Like, what happened to those people? Like,
No. Most of the time, it's diagnosed at some point because or it has some kind of terrible reaction to it. Like, for example, with me, I'm allergic to bananas. Cannot have them. Can't do the smell. I don't cook with them, and I'm never around them. But I didn't learn that until I was in 7th grade. And a lot of times when you have issues like that with any other food allergy, you learn pretty young, unless you develop it when you're an adult. Like shellfish or something like that. But I think those people they learn pretty early on that this is an issue, and then their doctors can then tell them what they should and shouldn't have.
Gotcha. Chef Rome, we have to wrap this up. It's been a blast talking to you, man.
Yeah, man, I enjoyed you guys.
Enjoyed you too. Where can everybody find you?
So I'm on all the social media sites, Chef Jerome Brown, on Instagram, on Facebook as well. On Twitter, I'm Chef J. Rome Brown. And listen, I respond to everything. My website is cookwithrome.com. And, hit me up. And if you need to email me, it's chefrome@gmail.com.
Awesome, dude. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Oh, man, I enjoyed it, man. You all have a great evening.
You
You
too,
too.
my man.
All right. Bye-bye.
Later, dude.